Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, and today we're going to look at some V-nickels, and we're going to talk very specifically about trying to find the difference between almost uncirculated and uncirculated. This is one of the harder grades to know in almost any coin grading set, and especially when it comes to nickels. The good thing about nickels is they actually tend to have a little bit more luster than some of the older copper coins, but you can get some nickels that are just flat with little to no luster, and it becomes very difficult to tell the difference because a lot of them don't necessarily have the same type of luster as a Morgan, so they'll be a lot harder to grade. So that tends to be my example for people, is to understand that there is a difference between silver and copper and nickel coins and how they show when they get struck. So looking at luster, let me show you what a really nice lustrous V-nickel looks like. So when it has full and complete luster to it, you should be able to turn the coin and see the light dance all the way around, nice and easy, pretty bright, pretty lustrous, no breaks in the luster. So let's take a closer look at some of these other coins here and try to figure out what we think about them. This coin here has pretty good luster, but you'll see it's not bright all the way around. It has kind of a flatness to it at the top. And you'll see also all these really fine lines going across the neck, up into the field behind the stars. This coin is a coin that would be called cleaned. This one has a good, you can really see the lines when you get the light at that angle, and so that's the type of thing that'll pop up and see how the lines change direction. So that coin has actually been cleaned, and it's somewhat easy to tell once you get the light at the right angle that those lines would be cleaning lines. This coin actually also has some graffiti on it. I did not carve my name in there, but it looks like I did. Let me show this to you. You see how at this angle you can't even see it, but on the neck there are actual letters inscribed, and it actually looks like my name, but I don't think I did that. Okay, fine. I know I didn't do that, let's put it that way. Now I want to move on to a coin that is not cleaned but would come back almost uncirculated. So once again, it's helpful to know a little bit about what the coin should look like. Sometimes strike can be a factor. Some of these come really flatly struck, especially on the reverse where you'll see the lettering just smashed. And if you want to talk about the strike, this is how strike can be confusing. Let's look specifically at the wreath, at the bottom of the wreath on this coin. And you see on the right side, you can see that there's a corn stalk in the bow. And look at the left side, it's just flat. So strike can really be deceptive at times. Now this coin, you can tell, especially on the obverse, that it actually has basic wear lines, which is to say you have a lot of lines on the obverse that from the coin circulating. Let's see if I can get, maybe I'm looking at it too close to be able to show you. Let me see here. And as always, it depends a lot on the angle that you get the coin at to the light to be able to tell what's cleaned, what's not, what's circulated, what's not. So I need to capture the right angle for you so that you can see all the breaks in the luster and the fine lines on the surface of the coin. And of course, I am failing miserably at showing that to you because I'm just not getting the right angle here. Even though I caught the light perfectly for myself earlier. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I want you to look specifically at the neckline, and right there you can see just all that kind of white to dark. There's the angle I needed. White to dark on the cheek. Look at the jawline itself, how it goes to dark, and then there's a break in the luster there, and then also her cheek, kind of behind her eye, it gets darker, and there's fine lines. This coin, if we sent it in, would come back an AU 58. Now where it can be really difficult, and I'm going to show you some coins that would be really hard, I'm not 100% sure necessarily. These coins are just toned over something fierce. And anytime a coin is toned, it becomes very difficult to tell what the grade is. It depends on the toning. You know, the luster's all still there good. I happen to think if you look at how sharp this coin is, that this one would still come back uncirculated, but you can tell the back of the coin is really flat looking. And by flat, I don't mean by design, I just mean it doesn't look very lustrous because the toning is so thick and heavy. And so it becomes very, very difficult to tell on that coin. And as always, if you're collecting coins, you might want to just go by eye appeal, and we can get back to a couple coins that have really tremendous luster to them. This 1903 is super lustrous and is a little bit of a what I call slam dunk for an Unc, and even a higher grade mint state. I think this coin would come back. Well, I should look at both sides for you and have you look at both sides before I say. But I think this would come back a mint state 65. Nice clean fields all the way around. Not many contact marks. And overall good eye appeal. Real solid coin. Very solid. So this 03 I think will come back a higher grade mint state. Whereas these toned coins that we were just looking at, I didn't even look at this one up close. Of course, thank you for all of your thoughts and comments on questionable color. We already know that's coming down the pipe right here on this coin, which looks like it has an oil slick on the back. You know, it's hard to say that they would call that anything but questionable color. The question is whether or not they'd call it uncirculated or what type of grade they'd call it. It actually has complete luster. I don't see any hairlines on it. So I'm probably going to go ahead and send this in, even though it'll get questionable color to it, because I want to be able to show this to you when it comes back, and we want to have some examples, some more coins to look at. So, all right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.